Here's what's going on in the real estate industry when it comes to Section 8 housing for disabled veterans and families who have public housing contracts. I keep getting these notifications for properties that aren't available for viewing and properties that have been shown to other people 32 times where background check fees were collected 32 times. Here we go. Here's what happens when you click on one of these listings from this company. View listing. Schedule a tour. No longer available. Why are you sending out listings for properties that are not available? I've been conducting a investigation, putting together all this information about this federal loophole in the federal regulation that is being used to throw families and veterans in the street. It's been doing that for decades, I assume. I've just become aware of it because I got on the HUD voucher at the VA. And I found that Dayton, Ohio, 5.94% of the households in this city are evicted every day. 5.94% in 100 renter homes are evicted each year. And there were 1,854 evictions in Dayton in 2016. So I go over to the eviction lab and I'm like finding all this information, but I'm not finding the specific information that I'm looking for. Because this is a non-profit privatization of reporting the government accountability, which is exactly the opposite of that. Because they're not telling the truth and they're not providing a authentic report of what's going on without that information right there. I think you'll see they're talking about exactly what I'm talking about, that they're not giving you the right answers. That's what the privatization is all about. Did public housing conversion lead to more evictions? Of course it did, but they're not going to provide an accurate report. They're the gatekeepers of the truth about HUD and the VA and all that shit. All criminality is protected by the news and privatization of services. And I wish it wasn't that way. If more people knew about it and were protesting it, it wouldn't be that way anymore. But most people don't know how things work. I'm not most people. do public housing, did the public housing conversion. The conversion was, well, what's it called? Gentrifying, that's what it is. All right, so here we go. Dayton, eviction rate is 5.94%. And this webpage is got a lot of good information, but you got to take it and go to where the truth is, like everything else. And they show some disturbing trends on this. Like there's specific buildings and specific landlords that do the most evictions in every area. And here in Dayton, there's only one attorney downtown that's ever at these eviction hearings. And I mean, there's a couple that'll come in and out over there, but the one guy that I've dealt with a couple times, once successfully and once not, but he runs the court. I mean, they let him call the court cases and he handles all of it because it's a scam. And he's a dirtbag piece of shit. All lawyers aren't worth a damn. There's not a single lawyer. You don't see anybody helping anybody, do you? You see them helping anybody do anything? No, they're destroying everybody. They have an oath to the state to produce X amount of revenue. That's all that the government is a revenue collection agency. So I traced that from that evictions website. I found this guy here. So I'm like, I sent him an email and stuff, asking him for the information that I'm looking for because it's not there. You got to be careful. I mean, I might not have worded it good enough for him to not suspect, that there's foul play there. I'm not trying to foul play him. I'm trying to expose it, but he's probably Matthew Desmond and Devin Rutan are probably gatekeepers. Not probably. If they're writing reports and stuff and they're on the inside, they are definitely assets of the criminal organizations that they work for. Yeah, I forgot to submit the proposal, but they're not going to listen to me anyways. I think that they should, because if they were going to do it, they would have already included the information that I'm looking for. I'm just on a long shot that Thomas K will send me the information I'm requesting. I'm going to go back to Sage Journals later and look around. That's what you do with people like Project Veritas and all that stuff. Those guys are on muckrack.com. And if you don't go look people up, look who you're dealing with, you're going to be accepting a whole bunch of bullshit. So here's the email I sent Thomas. Hello, sir. I'm currently searching for evictions statistics involving public housing. vouchers that match what I'm finding it in municipal courts. I was looking at the Eviction Lab webpage when I came across a link and the information to your contributions in the Eviction Lab's evictions analysis, following the link to Sage Journals at the AAPSS. What I found during this project is a recurring set of events that doesn't appear in any of these reports. A high percentage of the evictions involving tenants on Section 8 vouchers are happening after the property has failed an inspection by the Public Housing Authority and the Public Housing Authority abates its portion of the rent payment. The property owners are filing for non-payment of rent, evictions, and tenant that kept their obligation in the public housing contract current are and were still getting evicted. Does your office have any data matching this type specific query or any information on where to find this? I'm putting this information together so the info can be shared with multiple veteran nonprofits trying to stop disabled veterans from becoming just another homeless statistic. So, and I'm over here trying to file a complaint against the landlord here. I already filed one on the with the Ohio Real Estate Licensing Division, and I've done this before, and they carried the investigation right before I was getting evicted from a piece of shit property, and they didn't help me at all, and they just all they did was make sure that property a management company got their licensing straight. Because here's the deal: the state wants to be able to collect that revenue from those licenses and the taxes and all that stuff. So they don't care about poor little anybody who's not a corporation. They want money. That's all the government is a big money laundering operation. But I digress. I was looking through for a Midwest Acquisition and Property Management investigation in 2020. It never showed up. This is perfect. Go over to the YouTube channel for the HUD channel on YouTube, and when I went over there, I'm like, oh, there's my comment when in January 2025 I was living in my pickup truck in 20-degree weather for about 60 days. And Donald Trump was promoting his new token Negro in the as the director of HUD, just like Ben Carson did nothing. It is just them rubbing their bullshit in your face. The landlord can file for eviction for non-payment of rent even if the tenant pays their portion of the rent. This is a violation of 24 CFR 983.353, which is written in the contract. The PHA just walks away letting the tenant get evicted. No one is enforcing the contract or the federal regulation. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to raise enough awareness to that. Hopefully they're forced to change it, but nobody wants to get involved, They ain't got time. They're too busy looking for porn, pot, and liquor. Which is really not an exaggeration. Welcome to the age of the Golden Dawn.
In 1946, two men in the Nevada desert performed a hellish ritual, fulfilling an ancient prophecy. After nearly 2,000 years, the coming of the beast signaled the beginning of the end for all mankind. Born under a blood moon and raised in shadow, his dark spirit of rebellion was carefully crafted by esoteric black magic. Now, at last, he has been set loose upon the world stage, and the Golden Age has officially begun. Meet Donald, the man making America great again.
Drain the swamp.
He's rude.
I'm not thinking, Mr.
That's
President.
okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do.
I'm sorry?
No, go ahead.
He's crude.
Grab him by the pussy.
Kiss my ass.
And his blasphemies know no limitations.
I am the chosen one. I have great relationship with God.
But have you ever asked God for forgiveness?
Won't have to vote anymore, my beautiful Christians. I love you, Christians. I'm a Christian.
The people love Donald. Hollywood loves Donald.
Big and tasty for just $1? How do you do it? What's your secret?
The CIA loves Donald.
Take a look at what happened.
Israel loves Donald. But most importantly, Donald loves Donald.
I'm very highly educated. I know words. I have the best words. I have the best people. I have the best courses in the world. A lot of people think that I'll be the best in jobs by far. I will be the greatest that God ever created, believe me.
His concerns are universal.
They're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats.
His policies direct.
We have to bring back the death penalty. Death penalty. Death penalty. The death penalty. The death penalty.
His intentions transparent.
You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
This President's Day, judgment has been declared.
It's called Operation Warp Speed. That means big and it means fast. Unlike anything our country has seen since the Manhattan Project.
And the little horn is playing 5D chess for your soul.
Ooh, that was a bad one.
Antichrist megastar.
I recommend take the vaccines. I did it. It's good. Take the vaccine.
He's not the man of sin they expected, but he's the man of sin they deserve.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I think I'm not maybe heaven bound.
Coming to a scrying screen near you.
Oh, shut up!
His supporters often say he runs the country like a business. His business started with his father, Fred Trump, a New York landlord sued by the Department of Justice in 1973 for refusing to rent apartments to black tenants across 39 buildings. Employees were instructed to mark applications with the letter C for colored and reject them. Fred Trump left his son at least $413 million through shell companies that inflated invoices to move money untaxed, in what the New York Times called outright fraud. Donald took his daddy's fortune and failed at everything he tried except maintaining the real estate portfolio. Trump Steaks failed. Trump Vodka failed. Trump Airlines failed. A fake university that cost him $25 million in fraud settlements. 6 corporate bankruptcies. Then, in 2024, a New York jury convicted him of 34 felonies for falsifying business records after paying off a prostitute and calling it an accounting expense. His signature business tactic is the threat. He stiffed hundreds of contractors and dared them to sue. He threatened countries with tariffs, then backed down within days. Wall Street coined a name for it: TACO. Trump always chickens out. Now he has pointed that same tactic at 93 million people in Iran. A whole civilization will die tonight. He backed down 90 minutes before his own deadline. Again, this is not a businessman running a country. This is the son of a slumlord with 34 felony convictions who inherited everything, failed at everything, and uses the only tactic he has ever known: the threat. He pointed it at one of the oldest civilizations on Earth. And 93 million people held their breath while a game show host decided if they would live or die.
I'll show you how this is a diversity hire working here. No other way to describe this. I'm on here talking to this person about a chat, Jamie, and she's telling me that we could not send this to you. We don't have access to your account, to my email account. So I go over to my email account, take the screenshot that shows that this conversation and my email are tied together. They're lying. She's a fucking liar. She's a diversity hire, or some, I don't know what the problem is. I've asked her several times that she needs an interpreter. Now send me the document to my email like I asked you to now. And she's beating around. This is the shit she wants to send me. So I don't know what to tell you guys over there. This is the kind of shit I'm going through over here with these criminals. And I'm going to barbecue their fucking asses. That's right. That's right. Right there. Let's go back. I'm going to send this right to him.